Welcome everybody to Arkworld. Welcome to this special Arkworld Business Training. Hi to everybody around the world joining us. I was going to say tonight, but also if you're watching us here on YouTube, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We have a lot of people coming on this call. This is a live Zoom call, as we do with all our recordings, with people joining us tonight from the UK, Europe, the Caribbean, and the USA. So welcome to you all out there, and to you watching on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. This Arkworld Business Training was what I used actually to build my distributorship when I started the company, to train my new distributors. And it's so important to train your new distributors, not only on the products, but also on the business within the very first week. And I can't emphasize that enough, when they join the company. Does that make sense? Really, to help them get the best start possible. Okay, when I started the company as its first distributor as well, by the way, this business training, by the grace of God, really helped me to succeed. It helped me to help others to grow quickly, help them with their business to get a good, fast start. And as I recently said on the Arkworld product training, which you can also find on YouTube, duplication is the absolute key to growth and to wealth. It's so, so important to duplicate you over and over again if you want to be successful in multi-level marketing and in Arkworld. If you're a new distributor here looking at this and watching me and listening to me for the very first time, I urge you to take good notes and learn this training along with the Arkworld product training too. If you're not a new distributor and you've been a distributor for a while, I urge you to take good notes, right? This time, study them, right? It's so important to learn how to do meetings and learn how to do trainings. Apart from selling the products and recruiting distributors in Arkworld, you need, as I said, I keep talking about, you'll hear me say it a lot on this recording, learn how to do meetings and trainings. Anybody can do them. And we have tools in Arkworld, videos on YouTube and so on that help you to do that. They can all be found actually on our YouTube channel at ArkworldIntl. If you go to the Arkworld website, www.arkworld.net, and scroll down to the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see the YouTube logo. Just click on that. Honestly, today it's so much easier. Today's technology isn't it amazing? We have meetings, we have trainings at our fingertips. Wish I had them when I started the company. Would have made things a lot easier to teach others and to duplicate. You can simply, where's my phone? You can simply push the button on your phone today and get trained 24/7. So we have no excuses, right? So, anybody can do this business. As a distributor, make sure to subscribe to our channel because you'll receive all the new video releases from time to time and be able to share them with your distributors in your business. Copies of my original training notes, copies of my notes for this business training and product training can be found in your online back office. If you are a distributor in the company, you'll have a great online free back office. And if you go to tools, tips, training in there, you can actually download them, the actual training notes to this, the product training and the recruiting script to actually recruit people into your business. There are many other great tools in your online back office. So check it out. They are there for you. One last point, going to be following a lot of notes here in this training, as I suggest you do when you do training classes. One last point is that, testimonials of people's success are always much a better way, really, of teaching than just facts and reading training notes. Not only to sell and recruit, but as I said, to duplicate and teach others. So as your business grows, you can use more testimonials and less training notes. In other words, let the audience do the work for you. What I mean by that is, if you had, if you want to teach people how to sell a product and you've got 10 people that have got different stories of how they've retailed and sold that product, obviously that has an emotional connection. There's a real testimony, proof in the eating, as I say, or in the selling, right? So when you hear someone's excitement, how they've sold that product, you think that's a good idea. Testimonies are much more powerful than just reading notes. So as you become more successful, you can use testimonials not only to sell and recruit, but to teach others how to do that and teach them how to actually get distributors. I'm going to be using a whiteboard a little bit for this, but only for headings, okay? Just for the headings, because really I want to make sure that if you're watching this, you want to watch this whole business training, you have an understanding of the 7 parts involved in this business training. Very important. This is an Arkworld Business Training, or A.D.T, another name for it, which stands for Arkworld Distributor Training. Part 2, which is on the business. Part 1 on the products is already on YouTube and equally important. Now, before we get started here, there's a couple of warnings I wanted to give you, okay? Because before we start this, and I think it's worth mentioning. One is length of training. A lot of people today want to go on and watch 5-10 minute videos, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. And there's a place for them. We have a lot of 10-minute product videos that can help you sell the product on YouTube, and they're fantastic. They're awesome. But also there's a place for proper training, right? I mean, I've said many times in the past, you want to work in a call center today and work on the phone, you're trained for 3 days, right? Some jobs require you to learn for 4 years before they let you into the, to actually do the job that you've applied for. Even Jesus spent 3 years training his disciples, right? So lawyers can spend 10 years studying. There is a time and importance for learning this, and not just watching this training once, but studying it, listening to it over and over and over again. So this is a long training. We don't apologize for it. It's important, really, to your future. If you want a career with Arkworld, whether it's to make several $100s, several $1,000s a month, or $100,000 a month, or $1 million, which some people will be earning, and you want to become wealthy in Arkworld, you need repetition. You need to keep learning it and learning it and learning it, and understand the 7 parts to this business training so that you can go out and teach other people. Does that make sense to you? Cool. Okay. The second part, and it's a golden rule, really, is this, and it's so important. Why is it some people succeed and some don't? It's a picture. Got to get on this product if you're not, well, best product in the world. Why is it some people succeed and some don't? And I'm not just talking about Arkworld now. I'm talking about anything, any company. It's not the products, and to be honest with you, it has nothing to do with it. I can tell you why. It's not the business. It's not the company either. That is the same for everybody, right? One person, we've had people in 6 months make $10,000 a month. Another person in 6 months, not in the business anymore. That happens in any company. Why? It's the same for everybody. It's because the only variable here is you, right? Me. It's down to us. You got to go to work on you. Here's the good news. It's done in inches, not yards. Change does take time. For things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, you've got to get better. It's as simple as that. Keep listening. You got to keep learning, keep growing, and keep developing, as I did. I mean, I was 18 years of age. I was soaking it up like a sponge all the time. Hang around successful people. Listen to CDs. This is just some advice for you if you haven't done it already. I'm sure you're doing that. But you do the work. Listen to online recordings, videos like this. Read success, development books. Soak it up, learn. It's done, as I said, in inches, inch at a time. And what's funny about change? When I look back, you don't recognize the change at the time. It's only years later when you look back at things you once thought were important. You thought, my goodness, how I've grown, right? So anybody can do this. Now, we're not here to talk about this tonight. That's for leadership training, to be honest with you. That's for another day. But there is one tip and defining factor I wanted to give you, which I think is really important, you know, in becoming successful before we get into the business training, and this is it. And I'm sure you'll see where I'm coming from when I mention it. It's a word called desire. Or put it another way, stay hungry, be hungry. You know, hunger. It's this training you can watch a zillion times, but unless you've got a desire to apply it, right? It's the same with, you know, I'm a Christian, and if you want to study the word, unless we're going to be a doer of the word as well as a listener to the word, right? It's not going to come out in our lives. So it's the same with this business training. You know, unless you've got desire and a hunger to listen to this, and here's the thing, if you're hungry, by the way, you'll have desire. It's automatic. If you have desire, you have a willingness to work at it. And outside circumstances and adversity, especially like the last couple of years with the pandemic, they don't come into it. That doesn't mean we're being hard or rude to anyone that's had, you know, people that have suffered or lost lives. It just means that it doesn't, how can I put it? When you're challenged, and you guys know what I mean, when you have a burning passion and desire, it's almost like nothing really affects you to the extent that it normally would. You keep going, right? You've got to have it. This training won't work unless you have a desire to apply this and actually go to work. You've got to go to work. All the growth is in the valley. It's when you're hungry, right? It's never on top of the mountain, never. How many times do you see some of them, they don't even believe in God, and when they get into trouble, they pray, right? The blessing, why? The blessing is in the adversity. It's in the affliction. It's not in the victory, never. Because that's not where the growth is. It's where we truly change. Adversity and affliction, and when you're actually at the beginning of something like this, is where where change is possible, where we really lean on God the most. Wouldn't you agree? You know, you got to be, as I always say, you got to be broken to be rebuilt. The one element you need more than anything to succeed, whether it's Arkworld or any business or anything out there, is hunger. When I was 18 years of age, when I started before I started Arkworld a long time ago, and I got into multi-level marketing business, I was hungry. I used to listen to trainings like this, as I've said a lot in the past, you know, every morning I'd be listening to something for half an hour before I even left the home to go talk to people, you know, because I was desperately hungry to do something. I had absolutely nothing. And you know what it's like when you got nothing, right? The only way is up, right? So I was hungry. When I started Arkworld, same thing, you know, it was incredibly difficult to start Arkworld. You know, I'm not going to say it was a walk in the park at all. You know, it cost over $400,000. I didn't have any of that money. I was broke at the time, and I had to do a lot of it in faith. But I was so hungry. I had a burning desire. And here's an example of kind of what I mean. When boxers, right, in the sport of boxing, when they start to lose it or lose their edge, it's usually when they become successful, there's a word that happens, something that happens to them, a very important word. They get comfortable. And what happens by getting comfortable is they lose their hunger. They get a little too civilized, right? And any boxer will tell you that it's a danger. You must stay hungry. Get out of your comfort zone. I'm sure you can see why I mentioned this before we do the training class, because it's a little bit of leadership training, but it's important. If you really need to not only watch this video, but study it and apply it every day to your daily method of operation. If you want a serious long-term career or become wealthy in Arkworld and successful in Arkworld, you know, you're going to need to continually stay hungry and with a burning desire and get out of your comfort zone. And before you think that means being comfortable, it doesn't mean that. It means something else. You can be broke and make poverty your comfort. And I know, I've been there. You get used to it. It's what's familiar to you. Does that make sense to you? Right, it becomes familiar to us. We run back to the arms of safety and security, and that could even be broke if we're used to being broke, right? In other words, you can be comfortable with discomfort. So be careful of it. If you want to earn the unfamiliar, you got to do the unfamiliar. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to put all this into action, right? Where are we going to start? We've got to start with the basics first, right? It takes time. You know, just like this training class tonight, you can't drive a Formula One car, right, without learning to drive first. So let's go through it. We're going to take our time here. I'm going to swap our papers over. Got a lot of stuff to go through with you. So pretend we're in a hotel, a meeting room together. If you're watching this on YouTube, sit back, grab a pen and paper, and I urge you to take good notes. We're going to have a sip of pink drink. We're ready to go. Okay. Grab a pen. I'm going to put down some headings for you as we do this training. Okay. So you have an idea when you teach others the 7 parts, you know, a simple idea of what's involved with this. So we're just going to go to our share screen, if you'll forgive me a minute. And we're going to click on the whiteboard. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Okay, just to think I couldn't do this a year ago. Some growth, amazing change. Okay, so hopefully this pen will work. Right. So, and by the way, I'm only doing this for the headings. Okay, so here we go. Forgive my writing. No offense, Dr. Debbie. I know you're on this, but I should have been a doctor. Arkworld, and I'll just come off of that. There we go. That's better. Arkworld Business. That's going to have to do, right? Come on, don't make me feel bad. That's pretty terrible, isn't it? Right, okay. Here we go. So here's number 1. We're going to discuss this first. It's called Getting Started. How do we get started in Arkworld? Isn't it cool, this pen? Pretty cool. Okay. And we're going to just come out of that. And hopefully we can make this bigger. Where are we? Sorry, guys. There we are. Okay. Sorry, guys. There we go. Make it much bigger. Okay. We seem to have come out of. Well, that's okay. Right. Okay. Where is we? We'll come back to the whiteboard in a minute. So getting started. Okay. To be successful in Arkworld, all you got to do is 3 things, okay? Number 1, we use the product, use. Number 2, we talk to people, talk, and we teach. Teach others to do the same, okay? We just admit somebody here. Okay, fantastic. So we use the products, talk to people, and teach others to do the same. Now, I know that sounds pretty obvious, right? There's a reason for each part, and it sounds simple. I know that kind of every company out there you could apply this to, but there's some real important points to use, talk, teach. That's the Arkworld philosophy of how we build this business. You see, when you use the products, you want to be using all the products because you only really sell what you use. Does that make sense to you? You've got to be emotionally connected to it. So you need to be using them all. If you don't use them all, you'll never talk about them. When you talk to people, we're going to go into this in a moment, you need to be telling testimonials as much as you can. You know, keep this business simple. Don't get into too much science, too many facts. And there's something you're going to hear me go through called wear the button and push the button. You know, we have a lot of videos that can help you and a lot of tools at your disposal in the company. So, you know, you're going to hear me talk a lot about this and talk about these buttons, right? I know they look stupid and make holes in your jacket, but we have some people that make thousands and thousands of dollars a month by wearing these buttons. And I know some people in the industry that have made 40, 50, 1,000 a month plus just because they had the guts to put one of these things on. We're going to go through teaching as well, you know, keeping it simple, duplicatable. So let's get into this. Number 1, use the products. You know, as a distributor, it's not just about, you know, selling a product to make a profit, right? Does that make sense to you? I mean, obviously you want to do that, but it's about selling the products. It's about getting great results and then recommending those products to help other people. You can't honestly talk from the heart with sincere passion to anybody unless you're actually using the products yourself and getting great results. It's not only wrong, you know, unethical, right? You got to use all the products. because you only really sell what you use. Okay, what you're emotionally attached to. Remember this formula. If you're taking notes, write this down. You use some of the products, you will make some of the money. Okay, because you'll only sell, as I said, what you use. If you use all the products, you'll make all the money, because you'll be at, I got some products here. If you're on shipshape, right? You'll know what it's like. You'll know how powerful it is. You'll be able to talk about it. You're on the pink drink, right? We got here. Best product in the world, by the way. You need to be on that. Fantastic. You'll be able to talk about it. Purple pill, the power of the pill. This is immense. You need to be on it. Micro, magical product. Unbelievable. Best there is, and the only one of its kind in the world. You'll be able to talk to everybody. Therefore, you will make more money in the company if you're using them all. Let's talk about talking to people, and there's a lot we want to mention with this. We talk to people as distributors. There's really only two things that we talk about. One is the product, right? And two is the business. Make sense? In other words, we sell and we recruit, okay? Now, when we sell and we recruit, and this is what I've always tried to do in building my distributorship, is tell stories, tell testimonials, right? Keep this business simple. I see some people saying, what do I say, Mark? What do I say? Keep it simple. Learn the stories. We're going to talk a lot about this tonight. Stories of health results, weight loss results from using the products, and stories of income results from people building their business. That makes sense to you? Cool. It's so important, this, and I learned something when I was 18 years of age that probably made everything change my life, really, when I got in this industry. I'd never heard anything like this before. I thought success was down to talent and education all the time. It isn't. It has nothing to do with it. It's helpful, right? But it's not why people become successful in Arkworld or in anything. It's this. If you talk to some people every day, no matter what you say, you tell some testimonials, you'll make some money. End of story, no matter what. If you talk to lots of people, you tell lots of testimonials, you'll make lots of money. Does that make sense? I'm telling you, we're all in between some and lots. Now, talking to people, right, by just telling testimonials, helps them too to see the big picture quicker. And as I always teach people, if you can see it, you can sell it. You've got to have a vision first. If you don't believe you're going to be able to sell and retail, you won't. If you don't believe you can recruit. And I remember when I was a teenager, I struggled with recruiting. I probably because I was so young, right? I hadn't made much money or anything yet. And so I figured, how can I teach people, right, and so on to make money? But we have other people in Arkworld that have done that, from tens of thousands of dollars to a few $100s, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. And I mean, even myself with the Arkworld story, be able to achieve $73,000 in the first 4 weeks. It's an outstanding testimonial. So you have them there. So it helps you to see things clearer, right? Does that make sense? So you can go out, and if you tell other people's stories, they'll see it much, much clearer too. So if you can see it, you can sell it. There's a psychological process, and let me explain that a little bit more, that everybody goes through, whether they're buying a product or becoming a distributor. And that is 3 things. Number 1, it's simple. No one ever joins Arkworld or any business unless they think it's simple, right? We don't do anything if it's complicated. You wouldn't get in a relationship, right? If it was complicated, it's got to be simple, right? Does that make sense to you? Number 2, you got to think it can work, right? Why would we do anything if we didn't think it would work? And number 3, you got to think you can do it yourself, okay? Makes sense, right? Simple, think it can work, I think I can do it. Unless you come to that psychological process, you're never going to do anything or be successful at it. And testimonials get us through that process the quickest, more than science, more than facts or anything else. So keep this business simple because it's easier to teach others and stay away please, from too much science and things that are hard to teach. You know, we have doctors, we have great professionals in our world too. And if you can do that, then power to you. That's amazing. I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying that if you're not a doctor, don't try and become one. That makes sense to you, right? Duplication is the key. And if you keep it simple, it's easy to do, right? To become building a successful, large organization. Remember, people do what you do. They don't do what you tell them. I wish they did do what you tell them, all right? But they don't, right? People do what you do. So keep it simple. Talk to lots, right? Some or lots. And remember, the more you talk to, the faster you will go. And the faster you will go, the easier things are. Let's talk about where the button and push the button. A lot of people have asked me about and buttons. So, you know, there's some, maybe I can give you a few things here, a few pointers. Maybe you see this a little clearer and a little differently, because I know some people hate badges and buttons, right? It's a big mistake, huge mistake. And I hopefully will get you to see why. Talk about wearing the button. We wear the button for two main reasons. First one, it's an excuse to talk to people, right? It helps us to make money, get new business. See, wearing a badge or some kind of promotional item, it's like a t-shirt or a baseball cap or something. It promotes your product, your business to everyone around you. But it's also like joining a football team or something, right? It's like wearing a team shirt when you've got this button on. You see someone else, it's like a uniform. They're an Arkworld distributor. Oh, okay, they got the button, right? It's a uniform. If you have it on, right, you feel more like an Arkworld distributor. You'll come to realize that, and you get a lot of business out of this. It advertises your products and the business everywhere you go. You know, it's like having a shop sign. Okay, you know, when you got it on, you're open. When you take it off, you're closed. You know, wear the badge, wear the button, don't fight it. You know, it's free advertising, right? Isn't it? I remember I was talking to Jules about it. She said to me, you know, she was having a coffee, I think, or something like that. And she was like 10, 20 minutes, you know, talking to somebody there just off the button. I think she made $100 in profit just from doing 2 retails while she was having a coffee and so on. You know, that's the kind of thing I mean. You know, people will talk to you everywhere you go. You may sit, and here's another point. You may sit, walk, you know, stand next to someone in the street and so on, or the gym or wherever you go, school visits, you know, school runs, doesn't matter where, but someone may talk to you about this. They may never know. They may be longing for a product like the pink drink, but they may never come to know about it unless you put this button on. You have a responsibility, really. If you want to be successful in this, why wouldn't you want to advertise your business everywhere you go? Wear the badge. They can then ask you. They get to choose you. You don't get to choose them. That makes sense? Care more about helping others is what I'm saying than what you look like. You know, it's a major point. A major point to remember is this with wearing a button too. We live in a time now, more than ever, where, you know, with Facebook, Instagram, all the social media and so on, every person you meet who talks to you from a button or anywhere, right, has thousands of other people, right, in their center of influence. We never had that in the past. We used to tell people to write a list of 100 names. Now people have friends with thousands, even kids. Unbelievable. So every time you ignore someone, don't put this button on, you miss out on thousands of their contacts. And it's not the personal ways that you're talking to that's the issue. It's who they lead you to. Who do you know? The most important 4 words in multi-level marketing is who do you know? So wear the button, right? More important now than ever in history to wear a button and advertise to everyone around you. Don't just build your business online. What a big mistake that is. That's not true leadership. It isn't. You know, when you're putting gas in your car, you should be pitching the guy. You know, when you're doing that school run, you need to be pitching people. When you're watching Tiger Woods play golf in Florida and Orlando next week, right, you should be pitching them, right? Pitch Tiger. Anywhere, anytime, any place. And this button helps you to do that. Breaks the ice, right? Night and day. To not wear it, My opinion, and I'm not telling anyone what to do. I never do that. I tell people what I do. I wear it all the time. In my opinion, it's business suicide not to wear a badge. Now, there's another reason you wear it. It says you're proud to be an Arkworld distributor. You know, it tells everyone around you, including those that put you down, right? And I had a lot of them. Hands up, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? A lot of people I had a lot of people that, well, they didn't give me more than 6 months when I started Arkworld to survive, let alone succeed. It tells everyone that you're serious, all the doubters, all those people that are negative or mean or nasty to you. It says you're proud to be an Arkworld distributor, right? And you're going to get your button on your attitude straight with it. You know, it says you're serious about the product. It says you're serious about the business and its opportunity. And it says you're serious about the company and your financial future. You know, when you see a button, you know, people ask, you know, what are you going to do? And they ask you, obviously, you're going to ask them what it is. We got many different buttons: lose weight with ship shape, from pink drink buttons to movie buttons for video buttons. When they ask you, you know, it's so easy now. I was just thinking actually about it then. It's so simple, right? Grab my phone. You can just go on your phone, and with all the videos and technology we got today, it's so easy. And we're going to go through that a little bit when people ask you about this badge. Okay, wear it. It's fantastic. And all you got to do is press the button on your phone. And you can do that all day long, and you'll be getting customers and distributors all day. Let's talk about pushing the button. The simplest way, and by the way, we know what that means, right? Pushing the button on our phone. Simplest way to talk to people, as I said, is and present the product or the business is to show them the product videos, right? Or the recruiting video. They're on our YouTube channel. The Arkworld Business opportunity is the recruiting video. It's about half an hour long, just under 29 minutes, I think. It's powerful. It's fantastic. You've got to check it out. It's so easy. You know, if you're showing people that video every day, all day long, you're going to recruit people every single day. But you need to hold them accountable to it, right? You need to sit them down or get them to watch it at a certain time. But if you did that 10 times a day, you're going to get so much success. And we're getting more and more people doing that now. In fact, I knew somebody in the industry that through videos alone, it was about a year and a half, they got their income to $141,000 a month just by pushing a button every day. And they were so nervous and so shy, and they were the last person you ever said to do a training class like this or anything else. And yet it was unbelievable. They became wealthy literally by pushing a button. So don't underestimate these videos. They do the work for you. They also teach you and your downline how to present the products and the business to others. And as I said, hold them accountable, right? It teaches people, but hold people accountable. Make sure to subscribe to the Arkworld YouTube channel, and you can share them, as I said earlier, with people anywhere on your phone, anytime, any place. You can send them on WhatsApp or whatever you use, Signal, Telegram, and so on. Book a time. You know, a real great tip is this. You know, we all get a little lazy, right? We watch a little bit of a video, but book a time with them to watch it. You know, get back to them afterwards, make an appointment with them, or watch it with them, right? Or get a group of people together 2 or 3 times a week, as I used to. We're going to talk about meetings in a minute, and do a meeting with the video. You know, you can show 10 people and get 2 or 3 to join, you know, but at least 1 out of 10 is very powerful. Group meetings, as opposed to one-on-one presentations, are, oh boy, they save a lot of time. I used to do one-on-ones, right? Talking to people 1 at a time, right? If you're spending an hour with someone and you speak to 10 people, that's 10 hours, right? You can't get anything else done. 10 people in a room together for that hour, you get to speak to 10 people, you know, at once. Time management, very important. Then all you got to do really when you show someone a video is tell them a testimonial, yours maybe, you know, how you're doing, and ask them, do you see an opportunity for yourself? You know, do you want to do this thing? Do you want to actually join or not? There's nothing else to say. Don't do a meeting after the meeting, right? There's no need. It's on the video. I couldn't do it any better live, so, you know, why can't we use the video? It's simple. Anyone can do this, guys. If you're new here watching this for the first time, I promise you, you can do this. If my story is proof of anything, a kid from 18 that knew absolutely nothing, right? Who was on the street, who wore jeans and earrings and, I had no business background at all. I didn't have a clue. I was shy. I had a problem talking to people. If I can do this, I promise you, so can you, right? And with the technology today and videos and so on, it doesn't get any simpler than this, okay? We're going to get more into talking to people with retailing in a moment and recruiting. But I wanted to mention that on talking to people. I want to talk about as well, teaching others, use, talk, teach. You'll hear me say it a lot. Teach, number 3, becomes real simple. If you keep the talking part, right, use the products, and you keep the talking part simple by just telling testimonials. Don't rely on necessarily talent, education, but you just do the numbers every day, telling testimonials over and over again. It becomes really simple to teach others to do the same. Does that make sense? It's a duplicatable system that's repeatable is what you want. Using and talking, telling testimonials. And if all you do is wear this button and push the button on your phone, how many people do you think are going to be able to do that? We've had people make serious amounts of money just doing that, telling testimonials and with videos. And you're going to see a lot of that in the future. Lead by example with this is what I'm saying. It's much easier. Now, here's a warning, right? And hopefully this isn't too harsh, but it is a warning with leading by example. If you're taking notes, write this down. Don't expect your group to use, talk, teach, and keep it simple if you don't. Don't expect your group to wear the button and push the button if you're not, right? Using videos, don't expect that unless you do it. Don't expect your group to do flyers. We have some fantastic, let me grab a few, flyers in Arkworld. They're unbelievable. They're so easy. And on the back of them tells you all the facts about the product. They're amazing. You can even invent your own. And we're going to talk a bit about that. And we have many designs in your back office online for you to develop your own flyers. I love flyers. I would never do this business without doing flyers. Big mistake, in my opinion. Don't expect your group to do flyers and ads or use the tools, all the tools, if you're not. Don't expect your group to create massive action if you don't. You've got to lead with example with this. Don't expect your group to attend meetings, trainings, Zoom meetings like this, or workshops if you're not. Lastly, don't expect, and you can go on and on with this, you get the point, right? Don't expect your group to have a great attitude. You don't. It's a tough one, right? Some days we don't always feel ourselves, or we don't always feel like we got a great attitude, right? And so on. But listen, don't expect others to have a great attitude if you don't. You can see the point of what I'm making here. Teaching is about duplicating and leading by example. The key to building a successful, flourishing organization is to teach and help people to develop, help them to grow as leaders so that they can duplicate not only yourself, but themselves many times over. And if all you're doing is using the products, talking to people, and teaching others to do the same, becomes real simple. And we're just going to admit someone here. There we go. Just sorry, guys, just interrupting the training. This is a live training if you're watching this on YouTube. So we're just admitting some people. Okay, there we go. I think we've done that. That's pretty cool. So back to the training. It becomes repetitive, I guess is what I'm saying. If you keep this simple. Remember, people do what you do. Hi there, Nan, I can see you. I just thought I'd wave at you. Thank you for joining us. Yes, hi there, how you doing? Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a live training, Zoom training that we recorded. So people all over the world. So hi to you all. I love you all. Glad you're watching this. We'd love people to do what we tell them, wouldn't we? Right? Unfortunately, they don't. People do what you do. It's like children that way. So keep it simple. Lead by example. And don't just listen to this. Really take this in. It becomes much easier to teach others. People will follow you. They will, but do it right. To keep it simple and do it right. Use, talk, teach. Wear the button, right? And push the button, and everyone around you will do the same. It'll help support your organization. Support is so important. Gets everyone working on the same page. Continuity in a business like this is massively important. I always look at it like this. Imagine if you had a street. Have you ever noticed when they build housing areas, all the houses kind of look the same down one street, right? Would look really weird and a mess if everything looked completely different. You had a little house and a big house and a colored house and another kind of different color house there and a brick house and a straw house, and just look a mess. Nothing works when there's no continuity, right? We don't always do it the same way. In other words, the interiors may be different, but we want to have some continuity to our business. And when we all do it the same, right, it becomes real easy for everyone. Teamwork, we all know this expression, right, makes the dream work. Now, before we get into selling and recruiting, which is the crux of this call here tonight, before we get into that, let me just take this, by the way. I just noticed we got a whiteboard on here. You may be staring at. Let me just, okay, come off that there. There we go, that's better. Sorry, guys. Before we get started on this retailing and recruiting, here are 10 ground rules that I want to give you for getting started with your business. And so it's a good time you joined us, man. So here are 10 rules to starting, not just with Arkworld, but any multi-level marketing business, okay? Number one, write a center of influence. And by the way, this doesn't just apply to you, it applies to any new distributor you recruit into the company as well. You've got to oversee that and help them and follow them up and nurture them. So number one, it's for them too. Write a center of influence list of everyone you know. Now, that doesn't mean a list of people, sorry, by the way, that's my picture. Just let me just, yum. It doesn't mean people that are going to buy the product necessarily, or people who are going to join the business. We didn't say write a list of people that are going to join, did we? We said write a list of everyone you know. It's not your job to decide for them. Okay, that's a big lesson. I know what you're thinking. I don't want to speak to Arnie, Sally. Uncle Bob doesn't even like me, right? Right? It's sometimes the hardest talking to people we know. I understand that. But just do this, even if it's for practice in learning how to speak to people. Write a list of everyone you know. A health list. I was going to say fat list, but that's too rude, right? Isn't it? By the way, can I just say I was overweight? So I guess I can say it. I lost 28 pounds on this and 4 inches from my waist. Pretty cool, right? So Ship Shape works. Powerful, most powerful weight control and fat burning product line in the world. So write a health list, and also let's call it a weight loss list. That's nicer, isn't it? People that want to lose weight. And a money list too. People that, I see a lot of people ignore this. People that want to make money, people that want to have a business. Don't forget, people want jobs every day. And a lot of people don't even like what they do for a living. Isn't that fair to say? Absolutely. They would like a new job, maybe a chance to work part-time, working from home. Tonight is about building a business. And you're not going to build a successful, lucrative business in Arkworld if all you do is concentrate on health all the time. Don't misunderstand that. Lead with the products. You should lead with the products, because without them, what business do we have? But don't ignore the fact that there are people every day that are looking for jobs, businesses, and to make money, and there's nothing wrong in it. Some people need more money desperately, right? They're struggling. So don't overlook that. Write a list of everybody from health, people with health conditions or whatever, health wellness, people at the gym, friends. We'll talk about this a little later on. Co-workers, Christmas card list. The list is endless, but also a money list. People that could do with a new job, new career, maybe some extra money. Number two, place an order and get some stock. If you're a new distributor, the very first time, if you're listening to me the first time, get on the products. It's so important. Choose where you want to start to work in Arkworld. You want to start at 20%? You want to start at 25%? Or do you want to work from 40%? Right? Big difference, executive in the company. Your warehouse doesn't have to be a big fancy room, right? When we get into business, your warehouse could be anywhere. It could be a cupboard. It could be under your bed, for example, right? We keep our stock there. Remember this though, you only sell what you use, right? You do. We said it before. And you only sell what you've got. It's very hard to sell a product if you don't have it with you. When I used to go out all day doing flyers and talking to people before I became president of the company, when I started my distributorship in the beginning, everywhere I went, I had my products I was taking, but I always kept one with me or in the car, another product that I could sell immediately. It's so important. Retail locally, recruit globally. Much easier if you retail locally in your town. Build a customer base that way. And we're going to get into retailing in a moment. So start using the product. Get your own story if you've just joined Arkworld. You know, when you place an order, by the way, a little note to mention, we did talk about it a minute ago. There's many different badges in Arkworld. Love or hate them, they work massively. You can get 20, 30, 40, 50 people a day if you wander around with these on. And even people that don't ask you, right? For example, Phil Great with the pink drink, ask me. Loose weight with ship shape, which is one I got on here. Ask me. If they don't ask you, you'll see. That's not people are shy, right? You get people look at you, and they're kind of doing that, trying to read it, right? And I've seen some distributors kind of walking about like this, you know, kind of because they don't want anyone to. I'm even wearing my shirt. I saw one person had a button here, so they kind of like that. They saw me coming, and went like that. Hi, Mark, how are you doing? Good to see you. And then when I left, they went like that. That's it, right? Wear a button, and when you do, and you get someone ask you, it's very simple. We're going to get into that in a minute. A button response, but audio pack of buttons, right? They come in packs with assorted packs. When you put your first product order in, wear the Arkworld uniform. This is it. Do you want to do this or don't you? You know, if you want a long-term career, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying, why wouldn't you advertise to everyone around you everywhere you go? It makes sense. If I can do it, you can do it, right? Number 3, work out how many hours you're going to work. Part-time or full-time. Structure and plan your business. I see so many distributors, not just in Arkworld, but in the industry, they're sort of going along with no plan whatsoever. Structure this, plan it, hours, part-time, full-time, what days of the week. Number 4, follow Arkworld on socials and on YouTube. Watch the Arkworld product training, which you'll find on YouTube. It's on there right now. And this business training. Very important to learn them, watch them and learn them. Attend, number 5, regular meetings, trainings. Try hosting your own. It may scare you a little bit. It did me when I was 18 and I got into this industry for the first time. But we can help you with that. You know, we'll talk about that as well in this training tonight, or today, whatever time you're watching this on YouTube. You know, use the product videos, use the recruiting video. They are there to help you on our YouTube channel, and we can help you. Work with the leaders, work with me. You know, I'm working with people around the world all the time, helping them develop new meetings in their towns. So if you want to do that, said we will come back to that. I'll help you to do it. Girls, the ladies, staff at the company, Jules, been in the field many years. She knows how to build an international distributorship and so on. Richard's been with other companies. There are people there to help you. 6, get a diary, appointments book, get some flyers made. Oh, get organized, basically. Get your tools in place. Let me just grab a few of these. You know, we have ship-shape flyers. We got pink drink flyers, right? We got all the flyers on the products. We got business flyers, new career in sales, marketing, and business. Are you driven, motivated, ambitious? You don't have to use these ones. You can develop your own. They're not expensive to make either. Very, very cheap, very affordable. Okay, get some flyers made and ordered, able to hand out to people. Wherever you go, doing Arkworld with your button on, wherever you are, you should be handing flyers out. They should be on cars. They should be at doors. If a dog passes you, put it in that little collar, right? You can have fun with it. You know what I mean? Put them anywhere. I have noticed boards. Again, we'll come back to that. But you've got to order them first. Get yourself some tools. And get a good idea. One of the distributors told me is get a testimonial for it. That's a really good idea. So that you can write all your stories down, your story and others as you build your business. Number 7, get a desk. I know that sounds a stupid thing to say, right? But get organized, somewhere to work, home or office, could be your dining room. Mary Kay built a multi-billion-dollar dynasty, and she started from her dining room table. Doesn't matter where it is, but get organized. Number 8. This makes sense, right? Okay. Set out your goals. Personal, professional. I know you've heard this before, right? Business and personal, I call it. So many people don't, though. Have a plan of action to this. Don't do it by accident. Do it by design. A daily method of operation, and I'm going to help you with that tonight. But put a daily plan together. You know, do it like you someone would say, get up like you mean to, right? In the morning, right? With a purpose, right? You've got to do this with a plan. Put a daily plan together. You know, how many people you're going to talk to, what tools you're going to use, what hours you're going to work. Very important. We can go through a little bit of that this evening on this video. Number 9, keep it fun. All right, we have a lot of fun, you know, don't we? A lot of fun. When we do, we love to. I absolutely love doing this. It's so much fun doing this. It's got to be fun, right? If it isn't fun, you're not going to last long. Simple. Keep it duplicatable. Do the basics consistently every single day and let the results speak for themselves. Don't worry if people don't join. Don't worry if people reject you. This isn't, you know, try to get out of convincing people all the time and get into talking to lots all the time. We're not in the convincing business, we're in the talking business. Wealth is created by talking to people, not by convincing people. Now, people often think it is. Stockbrokers do 700 pitches a day, right? And we have the best product in the world. Why wouldn't we do it to help others? Keep it fun, though. Keep it simple and keep it duplicatable. Remember this: facts tell, stories sell. Testimony is always the best way. Number 10, be excited. Have a great attitude with this. No matter what. You know, when you talk to people, always try and have a positive, excited attitude. Not fake, but genuine excitement. Care about what you're doing, what you're saying. You know, someone once told me, when I was a teenager, a long time ago now, it's not what you say that matters. It really isn't. You know, it's how you feel about what you say that matters. People communicate with feelings, they don't communicate with words. It's about passion, sincere, genuine excitement. And the best way to get that is using the product. And also when you start to become successful as a distributor, it's infectious. You know, you get more excited about it. You see that royalty check come in the door, you see it is a few dollars, and then you see it grow. And you can't help but get excited. And you want to tell everyone. Feelings, so important. And as I said, don't think it's words. It's about being a great speaker or public speaker or having a great pitch. It's not. It really isn't. It's about talking to numbers. And we're going to get into that. Now, retailing. We need to talk about retailing. We've planned the work, right? So there's 10 points for you. We've got a little plan together. What we're going to do to start our distributorship. This is how I built Arkworld in the very beginning. Now we need to work the plan.